just really so that anybody who hasn't managed to get along this evening can come and watch it later, or indeed if you enjoy yourself so much you can go back and watch it for a second time. Will be posted as usual on our YouTube channel, so you'll be able to find it there along with all of the other the other presentations and webinars that we've had done. And I will be back in touch with you after we've completed this, just to check if you've got any feedback for us on how things have gone. The presentation this evening, I will post a copy of that on our website again. So if you want to go and check something or pick up contact details, those will be available from our website. So this evening, we're going to be talking about community engagement. We've got Katerina and Neil from GoCollaborate to talk to us about their platform and their tools and what they can offer. So I won't try and steal their thunder. So Neil, Katerina, it's over to you now.
Okay, thank you very much. It's good to talk to you guys. Yeah, I'm Neil Kirkland. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of GoCollaborate, and Katerina is the Head of Platform Delivery and Engagement, which basically means she does most of the work. We've got half a dozen slides, or 7 or 8 slides, and then we'll drop into a demo, if that sounds good to all. Right. Here we go. I'm hoping you can see something that says GoCollaborate. Excellent.
Yeah.
So as I say, we've got 7 or 8 slides, introduce the company and how we can help you consult and engage your communities. I head the company. Katerina's one of the co-founders. Josh Guy's the other co-founder, head of product. Mark is a consultant, has come out of the regulatory services space, lots of experience on consultation. And Steve is a RTPI planning consultant who specialises in neighbourhood planning. Depending on how you count the years of experience, we could get to 40, but I suspect we could get higher than that. We've got a number of other people in the background that also we bring in when and as required. We've got a number of platforms. The 2 that we're talking to you today about is the neighbourhood planning one. And I'm hoping you all know about neighbourhood planning. And also community projects and affordable housing. The platforms basically enable you to present information alongside questions and then capture all the responses. But we'll explore more, touch on more about how we do business along the way. Where we've come out of Falmouth University Launchpad program, which is a business incubation and acceleration program, and one of the challenges we were given as part of that program was to look at the well, it originally started looking at local plan engagement. One of the big councils, Cornwall Council, said we can't get anybody interested in our local plan. Can you help us with it? When we looked at their local plan, it was quite easy to work out why they couldn't get interest, and they knew why they couldn't, because it was a document, a big document, and a challenging document. We declined to really work on that. Instead, we worked with them on neighbourhood planning because commercially it made more sense. There was a lot more of them. And it really comes down to the fact that engaging communities is difficult. That is very difficult. And to do it well is a real challenge. What we found when we looked 3 years ago was, many communities, many towns, parishes, groups, planning groups were either using paper-based or first-generation digital platforms such as eForms or SurveyMonkey, which on the face of it are free, but they come with a significant time requirement and, quite frankly, at times a challenging skill requirement, which the groups have to work out and deal with. And it's one thing putting the survey out there, then the data comes in, and then there's the challenge of the data. The other issue that we saw was how to reach all areas of the communities, particularly the seldom heard groups, and how to do that well. Many of what we saw was meetings at town halls, followed by paper copies. Well, town halls and village halls, yeah, for many in the community, they can't get there. They're busy people, and paper copies work quite well, but it gives the project group a bit of a challenge, having hundreds of paper copies coming in, and then obviously the likes of SurveyMonkey and eForms bring their own challenges, problems. So yeah, we've come up with this platform. It's one thing getting the data. When it comes in, there's quite a lot of it to manage, and there's quite a lot of risks associated with it. Some of it will have personal identifications on, which will need to be managed in terms of the GDPR requirements. And then you've got to analyze the data and make sense of it. We would say that a critical part of engaging successfully is reporting back the results and your findings back to the community. It should not be a nice to do. It should be a critical bit, not least because you're trying to get that community to engage and take an interest, or indeed you might need to consult them on other things. Hence the multiple consultations. So you just get one thing done, a deep breath, made sense of it all, and then there's a further consultation requirement. The platform we've built provides in one solution meets all those needs. Our platform's easy to build, easy to deploy, easy to use. We were told by Cornwall Council at the start they didn't want any feedback. We wanted informed feedback. Thanks, Cornwall. So we built a platform that's got the information that you want people to at least read or have a view on alongside the questions. There is a direct link between the questions being asked and the supporting information. Information might be maps or plans, or development boundaries, documents, images, whatever's required for the user to consider and then comment on. And we provide support through our extensive experience of helping groups, towns, parishes to maximize their reach, to engage as fully as possible. And part of that is we bring expertise in the social media space, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and a variety of other things, in addition to the traditional. What we're trying to do is work with you to take the pain out of the community engagement. Certainly the NDP stuff is challenging enough. There's enough hoops to jump through without the real logistical problems of engaging effectively with the communities. Just an example of what we've done. Redruth is a small town in Cornwall. We did one of the consultations with them on their NDP. We could see from our numbers on the social media that 3,954 saw the post, so they were aware that something was going on. 875 there was 875 visits to the platform, so they could see from the platform what was going on. And those who registered, 3,289 contributions, answers or comments. And one of the key things that we're trying to do is monitor the respondents under, all age groups, but particularly under 40, given the challenge of engaging them. There's a wee quote from the project manager who was very pleased with what we've done. Just to get this out the way, the book price for the consultation platform and support is £19.50. It depends very much on the console, on the complex.
This is not what I thought it was at all.
Peter, do you want to answer that, or would you like Claire to elaborate more?
Hold on, I'm sorry, I muted myself there. I suggest we save it for the end and have a bit more discussion.
Yeah, maybe I'll have got right onto the proper subject by the end, but I fear not. Anyway, the price is there. It depends on the complexity of the build, what the client wants, what you guys might want. Includes the build, the deployment, and the support. Includes looking after all the data and making sure that everything's compliant. And it includes engagement support, helping you reach your communities. And we put in some of the social media ads that we do because it's in our interest to get good engagement as well. Multi-consultation deals are available for those starting NDPs. They are very likely to do 2, 3, potentially 4 consultations, yeah. So if we can wrap that into a one price, then the price falls dramatically. Plus, at this time, we're able to offer for a limited time. I don't know how much longer we'll be able to do this, but a free health check or getting started consultation with our planning consultant. Right, so I'm going to pull out of this and drop onto the platform. I'm hoping you can now see something that says have your say about projects.
No, not yet, Neil.
No.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I think you need to stop sharing first and then
share again.
Yes. Because you can just
Right, I've stopped the sharing, so if you now do it again, and there we go.
Yes.
Can you see that now?
Yes.
Yep. Oof. So this is the platform that we use for community projects. There's a very similar platform we use for neighbourhood planning. So we work with you to get your community, people in your community, or people with an interest in your community to this page. We encourage clients to do the face-to-face, go and talk to people, do the launches, but the whole idea is to get people to this page because this will enable you to get all the information in a usable form as painlessly, as easily as is possible, without an awful lot of yellow stickies if you do it face to face down the village hall or paper surveys or the rest of it. We can provide paper surveys to support this, but we would suggest you only release the paper surveys after the platform is live in order to encourage as many as possible to use the platform. The top of the platform is a bit of banding, a bit of branding, and you can also have a link to your own website so that people, if you've got pages on your project or NDPs, people can go back and forth. The platform is basically 2 halves. The high level information. Well, before I do that, clearly this is all customized. So this will be your communities, hopefully encouraging your people to think, oh look at that. Oh, there's me. And giving them a good feel about it. And then the high level information is what's going on with the consultation, why are you doing it, who's doing it, what's it for, what's the timeline, etc., etc. In the viewing box here, you can have a video, it could be an image, or it could be a message from the chair or your parish chair or whatever you would like. It's anything to try to make this a more engaging experience, to encourage residents to engage and get involved. For a number, that's enough. They've seen enough. They understand what's being proposed and what's being planned, and it's for their call as to whether they want to engage or not. We're obviously hoping, you're obviously hoping they'll go down to the projects. So the projects are organised into themes. So this one, cycling, walking, cultural quarter, etc. And you can flag where you're going next. in order to get to the questions and the further supporting information, the resident user has to register. They register by a valid email address, they create a password, and they put their postcode in. And we'll come back to why the postcode is in there in a moment. You can have as many questions as you want, but we would not. We would encourage you not to have more than 15, 18 questions, because we can see a drop-off in responses once you get past that. By asking people to register on the platform, and you'll see this from the portal that I show you, you will build a virtual community. The idea is to try and build a virtual community that matches your physical community. And once you've got the virtual community, you can engage with them, again, through the platform. So it's very easy to do a second consultation and a third consultation, or send messages out to update, to send the results back in. So it means that you don't, the pressure to ask lots and lots of questions can be diminished by doing a smaller, a second survey, perhaps. So standard stuff in terms of the questions. It's all map based, so you can see exactly what is, or the residents can see exactly what is being proposed or discussed. They're going to be commenting on something that is real, is actual, rather than perhaps what they've thought, they've heard, etc. So a whole variety of questions. Using the map, you can drop pins on the map. If you're asking a question about it, well, okay, this is where the cycle routes are. If you don't agree with them, drop a pin on and say where they should be. Or I think there's a question here about cycle racks is perhaps a better example. So you're encouraging people to cycle through the through the different projects, answering the questions as they go. Oh, hold on a minute.
So yeah, when you when the user completes one set of questions, he prompted to another one, just to.
We're trying to keep people on the platform. That's why, unlike SurveyMonkey, eForms, all the information is on the platform. If there's a further information that's required, it can be provided in supporting documents. We also have the users can also leave comments on anything that they want for other users of the platform to see from their community and respond to. We haven't got the response stuff on here, but yes, it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a response. Or they can leave comments here that go straight through to the client for the client to see. At the same time as we, the viewing box doesn't have to be a map, it could be a document, or it could be an image, or it could be a illustration of of houses that might be built, or the improvement works that might be being looked at. So again, people can see exactly what you're talking about, what the art of the possible. So at the same time the platform goes live, you get access, the client gets access into the customer portal for their results. I'm just showing you one set of results here. It's for one of the parishes down here that consulted on NDP. Oh, I've turned it off. The one that I thought we might show you today. So this is the results of a small parish right down at the pointy end of Cornwall. The red indicates where the people have responded. So you can see who's, not literally who, but the areas that the responses have come from. And certainly in one of the early ones that we did, we found that there was no responses in a large area. And when we inquired or fed this back to the client, or when the client saw it, they said, oh, that's interesting. What's happening there? Why haven't we got numbers in that space? And when they did their homework, they found that the leafleting hadn't happened. And yeah, something had gone wrong with the postcodes. The postcodes down here in Cornwall, well, apparently it can be a bit hit and miss. I don't quite understand how, but rural, yeah, very rural, very stuck out in the end. There's some issues around postcodes. So they were able to spot that and address that. When we ask people to register, we ask them some a small number, or we encourage you to ask some small number of questions about age or gender. Or some of the clients have asked about housing status, so that you can understand more about who is responding to your who is responding, or more to the point, who's not responding, and which groups you might want to target. We then get on to all the data comes through in real time. Using the real-time comments, you will see. Well, we won't show you that. Oh, there it is. You can monitor the comments coming in. If you're worried that people might leave inappropriate or unhelpful or even abusive comments on the platform, you can easily monitor the incoming comments in real time. And when you see them coming, you check them and you think, oh, tick, mark as read, nothing, no issues with it. If it is not acceptable, and there is privacy requirements and reasonable use policies that come with registration, you can delete comments. It takes the offending comment off the platform, but it says comment deleted, so that dissuades overzealous clients from deleting anything they don't like. And or more to the point, they might reply. We warn clients about getting too involved with conversations, but certainly clients have used it where conversations are going wrong. They're talking about the wrong field, or have got completely the wrong end of the stick. They just need to be nudged back into the right place. And then, of course, you have the results. I'm just moving that. I don't know whether you can see me moving that. So the results come through again in real time, and all the results can be exported into Excel or viewed in the platform every time. So I've got bars that are in the way. I can't see everything. So that's a form. That's the results coming in, bar chart or pie chart, or indeed just free text comments as well. So you can see everything that's coming in and start to get your head around what people are saying. All the comments are coming in for the questions sequentially. So these are all the comments on whatever that question was. So just by viewing the comments, reading them one after the other, you can get a feel for what people are saying and people are thinking, in addition to the hard metrics of do they agree, don't they agree, which is the best option, blah, blah, blah. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you to manage the incoming data and make best use of it, taking the pain out of the challenge of managing the data and understanding it. And you can also drop the data into a PDF in order to send the results out. There's two levels of PDF, one that's got personal data in. I say that as if it's very personal data. It's not, it's emails, but that's under GDPR. That is personal data and therefore is not allowed to be disseminated. So for the external report, those email addresses are removed and it just leaves the comments in. The internal report, which is for your purposes only, they've got all the data in. We can drop it into Excel and you can then use it in Excel either to finesse reporting or to do secondary analysis. We can provide more data analytical skills, but that's not in the base price. yeah, if we're asked for a view on various things, I'm sure we will give a view on various things. But if you ask us to spend time analysing the data, then that would fall outside of the price. Katerina, is there anything that I didn't cover that I should have covered? This is the appraisal bit, Katerina.
Yeah. Well, I think you covered everything. Maybe just on the platform, there is space where the users can see what they've been doing on the platform, how many questions they have completed, how many left, who, for example, replied to their public comment, so they can chat to each other. So the resident who is registering on the platform, he can be fully engaged too.
Yeah, I suppose the other thing that we didn't show you on the platform, we can send, or through the portal, you can send consultation messages. So you can send prompts out, or you can change, if there's things that have changed, you can alert all members to the fact that it's changed, latest information, etc., etc. So there's that, and we use the consultation builder, and you won't have access to this, but this is where we build the platform actually in the portal, working with you on the questions and ensuring that the documents that are required to support questions are provided, and there's document share space. So there's no attaching documents by email. They are all within the platform, and we construct it with you. Our latest, our hope that is soon to have a self-service model, but we don't think that will be applicable to you guys. That will work for those who've got extensive consultation needs, as opposed to one-off consultation or two-off consultation requirements. And I think that's it. So the bottom line is we are trying to get informed comment. That's the bit that's different. We are putting the data, the information that you want people to understand before they pass a comment alongside the questions in order to give the best possible chance of them understanding and perhaps seeing what you're seeing, or just helping you arrive at the direction. That's all we've got. I'll stop sharing now unless anybody jumps in and says they want to see something else. Well, we can start sharing again.
We could do that again if necessary. Right, okay. We've had a few people drop out, but I'll move it over to questions now. I've got a couple that occurred to me as you were just going through the platform there. Is it possible for somebody to come in, start a response, and then go away, log out, and come in at some later date? Do a bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, they go in, they register, they're in, they can start, they can come back out again. Their information stays there until the end of the consultation. So even if they completed it all and then had reason to rethink, they can go back in again and ask more questions or change their answers. Sorry. And indeed, with the public comment bit, they might be having conversations in the platform. So we would be absolutely, they would be alerted to the fact that a response has come in and encouraged to go back into the platform.
Okay, jolly good. Couple of other things I was going to ask you about. How bespokeable is the look of the
anything that's got an image of a town or a village or of the community, we put in the images that you want. Anything that isn't an image, generally images are in boxes. We've got some ability. We can change the colors. There's 2 or 3 color sets, and there's some of the imagery can be different, or some of the characters can be different.
We can add logo of the parish, for example, or the NDP.
We can certainly personalize it for you.
It's just the issue is, I mean, it's not going to be a problem, I wouldn't imagine, for for some of the smaller organisations, but some of the bigger towns might have a particular theme or a particular look
Yes.
that they want to continue.
Yes.
So their
Well,
communications are all consistent, and you know.
yeah, well, that banner at the top, across the
Mhm.
top of the homepage, is completely there for to put the branding on.
Yeah.
Mhm. On that sort of idea, something else that occurs to me is do you have versions or attached is the version that's suitable for people who are visually impaired, or you know might have, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, but might have other disabilities that might make it more difficult for them to actually engage with a version that's just designed for
When
most people.
we built it, the brief to the developers, the builders, the techies, was to make it make sure that we ticked all the best possible boxes to make it as accessible as possible. I'm struggling a little bit on, or unless Katerina, you've got anything to add on the visually impaired bit. I'm not aware that we can do much more than what we've got. We can convert it into a different language. We've moved it into Welsh, so that would be good if you had Welsh speakers. But I'm fearing in Norfolk you haven't got that
there's
challenge.
not a lot of demand for a Welsh language version of communications
No,
up here, I'm
no.
afraid. But there certainly might be demand for other languages locally. We do have one or two significant
All right.
minority communities.
I think if communities had particular needs, then we'd be very happy to talk to them about how we might work with them to make it accessible to those people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's covered everything that I'd made notes of. Has anybody else got any questions they either want to ask personally on screen, or you can post it up in the chat and I'll put it to Neil or Katerina? Right, I don't see any hands being raised either virtually or in reality. So I don't know whether Neil or Katerina, you've got anything else you want to add to what you've said before?
No, I think we've run our spiel.
Yeah,
We've obviously lost a few along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to hold people if everything's been asked, but one other thing that did occur to me is you showed a list of the comments that might be attached to a particular survey or to a particular question. Can you show those as threads? Because if people are sort of commenting on something that somebody else has said,
Yeah,
I can imagine sometimes this gets a bit.
No, I think they're
just
by conversation. So
yes, it will be together. Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if they're just in time order, then it
yeah,
you'll see things out of context.
They are in conversation order. Probably starting when the conversation started will be the first date, and then the fact that some of the comments are later will be indicated by the date. But they are together, so people can understand the conversation.
Good. Okay. Well, if nobody else puts their hand up, either virtually or in the chat, I will just say thank you very much to Katerina and Neil for making the time for this evening, and thank you to everybody else who's left and the people who've already had to leave us. Thank you for making the time to listen. And if you've got any questions, you can contact me directly or Neil or Katerina via their website, the details of which will be up on the presentation posted on our website. And thank you and goodbye. And hopefully I'll see you next time around. Right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, Peter. And happy to support if required. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.